it's Nikki Pike, mortgage broker with TMG, the mortgage group, and I am really excited to be here with Melissa Morin from Century 21 Maximum. Hi, Melissa.
Hi. Nice to see you, Nikki.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of time with the pandemic.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me. Melissa has been a realtor for going on 8 years now.
Yes, I'm going into my 8th year of real estate, so very exciting.
Perfect. I know that's how Melissa and I met, is actually through real estate.
Yeah.
And then we've gotten to be friends. And so I've had the privilege of watching Melissa grow her real estate business and get to know her as a person and watch her get married, have a baby, all kinds of fun things.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster of a ride the last few years, for sure.
Well, before we jump into the questions I have for you today, I would love for you to brag for a minute.
Okay.
And tell us a little bit about some awards you've won.
Yeah, so fresh on my desk this morning, Century 21 recognizes the top 1% of realtors out of all Canada. So last year we helped 102 families or individuals buy and sell real estate. And so yeah, that put me into the 1% of realtors for Century 21 out of Canada.
Well, congratulations. And I'm going to help you brag a little bit and add that obviously that happened during a pandemic, but also you had a baby in November.
Yeah, I was very pregnant. So yeah, I'm still recovering from that year, but it all worked out.
Well, that's one of the reasons I wanted to ask you here today is because, again, I've had the privilege of watching you grow your business and get to know you, and now I get to watch you as a mom.
Yeah.
So I want to talk, first of all, about choices.
Okay.
As moms, as women, entrepreneurs, we've had to make choices to get where we are. So for you, what choices have you made in your life that has impacted or gotten you where you are today?
Well, I would say sacrifice is a big choice. There's a lot of behind the scenes and sacrifices I had to make to be where I am today. And I think that speaks to be true in anyone's life. Mm-hmm. And picking and choosing what those sacrifices are now. When I first started, I sacrificed a lot, where now I have some boundaries, I guess, as to what I will sacrifice and won't, but I worked up to that, and those were big choices.
Big choices.
Yeah.
Well, and that kind of leads into, so as we kind of mentioned, some things have changed in your life in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
I know I had a coach once ask me the question, if I strip away my labels, so labels being mom, mortgage broker, daughter, sister, take away those labels, who are you or who was I? And that question really threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
And ask you, if we take away those labels for you, so mom, wife, daughter, real estate agent, all of those, who is Melissa?
Yeah, that's very deep, Nikki. It's also hard because I think a lot of people associate, like, their labels are their identity.
Absolutely.
But, I have learned a lot about myself going through those labels, I guess, of what I am and what I'm not. But yeah, I think deep down, I am a caring person, and definitely, I would say a hard worker. I like to persevere. I can be competitive.
A little bit.
So that's kind of the root of who I am. But I would say caring is a big one. I am who I am because I do care. I care about my future. I care about my family's future. I care about other people's future.
You care about your clients.
Yeah.
So
I think when you strip all of that, I'm just a caring person.
Determined.
Competitive. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, I guess, qualities that round me out.
Absolutely.
So,
Okay, so next we're going to talk about something that a lot of us don't talk about, and that is struggles.
Yes.
So for you, as your friend, I didn't notice, which I still feel bad about, the struggles that you were going through with your pregnancy. And if you're comfortable, I'd love for you to share a little bit about what that pregnancy was like for you.
Sure. And you don't have to feel bad. I think everyone was going through a rough year with the pandemic and the uncertainty in the world. And for me, I didn't actually realize my struggles when I was pregnant, because I just wrote it off as hormones and
normal,
tired, and all the things. And then when I had my baby, it's like a black cloud just came off of me. And I was like, whoa, I was not okay. And so now, like, I know my triggers, I know what I need to do to save my mental space. But yeah, those were just struggles that I think it was just everything all at once, and it was very overwhelming. But I've learned so much from it, and now I use that as a tool. And the struggles and the hardships will never go away, but now I have the tools to kind of acknowledge them and work through them.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
So we talked about pregnancy.
Yeah.
Now we talked that you kick, I was going to say ass, I don't know if I can say that. Kick
No
butt,
swearing.
no swearing. Selling 102 houses last year. So how do you carry that momentum forward? So new mom, running a business, market's busy.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Boundaries. So I would say that boundaries are the most important, healthy thing for anybody, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, a working mom, or not a mom. I think boundaries are important, but especially as a working mom, because it is easy to just be a yes man.
Especially when you're driven like you are too, right? You have to balance that drive and that competitive nature.
Yes, and
with boundaries.
I really learned over the years that I have nothing to prove, and that, you know, the number of deals I do don't define me. But in the beginning, it was really hard. It was like if I didn't get that deal done, it reflected on my self-worth. And so, yeah, I had to learn over the years that just a deal is a deal, but it doesn't necessarily mean that.
Well, we can't help everybody. I think that's right. So sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves to help everybody, and then when we can't, we feel like we failed.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to live with. And you're right. When you're a new mom, a mom, dad, an entrepreneur, put whatever label we want on it, you have to have those boundaries to protect.
Yeah. And when you care so much, you do take it personally, right? But I learned so much becoming a mom. And,
I love that.
Yeah. Boundaries are just really important.
So that question, part 2. Okay. What has changed in your personal life?
Personal life, well, man, a whole lot more coffee. I think the Starbucks lady knows my name now in the drive-thru.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, in personal life, a lot less sleep. There's, again, sacrifices. It kind of goes back to those choices. But a whole lot more joy in my personal life. Like, I have more reason to get out of bed in the morning, and my favorite thing is going to get my daughter out of her crib and seeing her smiling face. So yeah, it's just different.
It is different. I know one of the conversations you and I have had in the past that kind of leads into, the biggest challenge as a new mom, and I know we've kind of already touched on this, setting boundaries, the mental space, the time, all of those things. But one thing that I love that you're doing is putting your daughter to bed every night.
Yes, so that was like a rule, a promise that I set to myself, actually, when I was pregnant of her, that I want to put her to bed every single night and read her a story. So that is just a boundary. And I find now that I have a daughter, more of my clients have kids, and I feel like we're in the same place.
100%.
Where they want to put their kids to bed too. So, it's just different, and it's cool how it all works out.
It just changes everything.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
Okay, so one last question. Again, it's kind of a big one.
Okay.
So,
I'm ready.
What does the next year look like for Melissa?
So, we are looking to hire another realtor just to help juggle everything. I currently have one realtor who works for me and a full-time assistant. And then another goal of mine was to get a moving truck for my clients, which we did back in December. Crazy when I think about it.
Yeah, the timing, right?
The timing of it was crazy. I had a 4-week-old, and we were buying a truck.
In a lockdown.
In the winter, and we also switched brokerages. There was a lot going on. It's still kind of a blur because I didn't sleep, but and so we just want to provide more value to our clients, and that has always been our goal. Like, it's not necessarily growth in the number of deals we do, but just growth in improving our customer service. And I believe you'll never have it perfect, but any business that's continuing to focus on their clients will always do good. And it's so true. Like, our moving truck was a goal for a long time, and financially we were just able to do it, and so we did. And it's a great added service. And,
absolutely.
So just growing, but not growing in numbers necessarily, but just growing as a business.
I love that, 'cause it's not always about the numbers, is it?
No.
Yeah.
No, we just want to do good business
and help people.
Exactly.
So one last question, I kind of lied.
Okay.
I just thought while I have you here,
No
I
problem.
would ask about the market. So March 2021,
Mm-hmm.
end of March 2021 is where we're at right now.
Yes.
Tell us about the market in Central Alberta.
So these are stats as of yesterday. There was 43 sales in the last 7 days in Red Deer, which is great. We're up quite a bit from the year prior. When we compare, it's almost double, and inventory's down. I wouldn't say it's a seller's market yet, but more of a balanced market. So if you're not sure what that means and you are interested to find out, feel free to give me a call or set up a consultation if you're in the market to buy or sell, and I can explain more about what that would mean for you if you're a buyer or a seller.
Perfect. Well, I think that's a great place to end it. So if you are looking at selling, buying, or have real estate questions, Melissa is definitely the person to call.
Yeah.
Thank you again for
You're
taking the
very
time
welcome.
out of your busy
Thank
day.
you. Yes, always a pleasure, Nikki.
Yeah, and we'll have to do this again soon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a great 2021.
Me too. Thanks, Melissa.
Bye.